Welcome back into another episode of This is Whirlie Nation. Your host, Chase Williams, with you. Just 2 weeks left in the regular season. The Grimsley Whirlies 13-6, 8-2 atop the Metro 4A conference standings with victories over Northwest Guilford and Ragsdale last week. We welcome in the head coach of the Whirlies, Coach Corbett. Coach, a 2-0 week, that's all you can always ask for going in, especially headed into the month of February.
Oh, absolutely. I was very pleased with how we played both games last week. So, anytime you can get 2 wins in conference against tough opponents, it's a great feeling. So we were pleased with what we were able to do against Northwest on Tuesday, and then finishing the week off in the right way and trying to get everybody involved and get everybody on the court against Ragsdale. So we were very, very happy with our efforts last week.
And 2 games this week as well. Western and Page. We'll take a look into those a little bit later into the show. But let's start by taking a look at last week and starting with Tuesday night. It felt like it was the third quarter, the start of the second half, that really kind of opened things up and got things comfortable. Isaiah Whitsett's 3-point shooting on Tuesday night specifically was just phenomenal.
Yeah, we needed a little bit of cushion coming out of halftime, and I thought that, after we had talked and made a couple of adjustments as far as what we wanted to do, we came out and we played a little bit more relaxed. And, Isaiah did make some shots, but then we also had some key performances from Patrick Carter and Ryan Debo. So those guys gave us big baskets down the stretch, and then Sherrod White and DJ Howerton, they were able to give us some good minutes as well. So, we're trying to get together as a team. We're getting there. It's still a work in progress, but we're improving with every game that we play.
Coach, you and I talked about the growth of the offense over the past few weeks. It felt like on Tuesday night, specifically DJ Howerton kind of got things calmed down in the half court early on. And that was a huge stepping stone that maybe you haven't had in recent weeks, where there's been some early timeouts called for the Whirlies.
Yeah, I thought that, we still just got to make sure we don't avoid these slow starts. I don't know what it is right now, but we're trying to get off to a quicker start. And then I thought that DJ played well for us, set the tone for us defensively, and made a couple shots as well. So when he made that first shot of the game, it forced them to kind of come out and play him. That was something we didn't have in the first game against them, someone who could, or a post player who could shoot that far out. So when that happened, they had to respect that, and that opened the door a little bit more for us to do some things offensively that we were looking to do.
Well, there's no such thing as a slow start on Friday night. Jumped out ahead on Ragsdale really, really quickly. Took them 6 minutes or so to even get a field goal onto the board. Got to be happy with the way things started on Friday as well.
Yeah, that was the fast start that we were looking for. We had been scoring 21, 23, 25 points in those in the last 3-4 games that we've played in that first half. So one of the things that we were trying to emphasize was just coming out and having a quick, fast start and not letting them get any hope early. We just wanted to come out and set the tone. I thought we were able to shoot the basketball fairly well. I think both Henry and Isaiah made their threes to start that first quarter. Gave us, I think, like a 15-1 run to start the game. And we just sort of built off of that from there. So if we can get off to good, fast starts, then I think that could make a big difference for us as we come down the stretch.
You bring up Henry Trent, excuse me. Let's talk about him for just 1 second. He goes 0 for 4 from deep on Tuesday night, comes back, hits 3 of his first 4 on Friday. The guy, the shot is beautiful, and it really showed off on Friday.
Yeah, once Henry gets in rhythm, he's one of the best shooters in the city, and we know that. So sometimes we miss him on the wing, but once he gets his feet set and he's ready to go, he's very dangerous. So he was able to get that first shot to go down, and sometimes with kids, that first shot is all the difference. So if they make it, then they're going to be in the right frame of mind. If they miss it, they might be second guessing. But Henry came out on Friday, and I thought he shot the ball really, really well. So I think he's shooting close to 40% from the 3-point line for the year, and that's a very, very dangerous shooter. So if we can get him going early on and with his shooting ability and scoring ability, then I think that's just another weapon for us to use. I think he's one of the 3 kids that we have are scoring in double figures right now. So if he can come out and just continue to play with the confidence that he's playing with, then I think that's going to do nothing but help us down the stretch.
And Friday night, 4 people score in double figures. We talked about it last week on the show without your leading scorer and face on Brandon with the ankle injury. And we'll talk about that later on. But it's really a group effort. You had Patrick Carter, you had Whitsitt, you had Henry Trent, you had a bunch of guys getting to the basket and getting to their spots and hitting shots, including Sherrod, that we'll talk about in a moment as well.
Yeah, I thought that our balance was really really good on Friday. We were able to get four guys in double figures, but we also had some guys with 6 and 5 and 8 and 4. So we were trying to spread it around as much as possible. And I think that can only help us out. With knowing that guys can score when we need them to. So I was pleased with how we were able to get that balance scoring. And again, that's just something that we are going to try to see if we can continue to do as we go down the stretch.
Where have the steps been in practice? Because the execution has been much cleaner over the last couple games. It feels like in crucial moments, but also in just day to day and play to play activity.
Yeah, I think our execution was a little bit better last week. We try to make sure and emphasize just doing certain things well. Like we've been coming out and running our motion offense a little bit better. Still want us to have a little bit more patience with it. We're also trying to get some things done in the half court, sets coming out of timeout. So I think that's fine. But also that can be attributed to practices. This was the first week all year that we've had 3 practices in the same week with the whole team. And, that makes a difference. So Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday, we really focused on just trying to walk through all of our stuff, man and zone, to kind of know what we're doing when we go out on the floor and putting kids at different positions. So I think our offensive execution will get better. At least we're hoping so. So we just have to see what we do tomorrow night as well.
All year you've kind of gone between a man and a zone coverage on defense. Friday night, you tilted more towards the man defense. Was that just the matchup, or is that something where the team's getting more comfortable and you're liking more and more what you're seeing from that defensive scheme?
Probably just a little bit more of the matchups. I mean, sometimes we do play our zone for extended periods of time, but I thought on Friday we were able to play a matchup a little bit more man to man with them. So I think when we put our 5 guys out on the floor, we can match up with just about anybody. But sometimes schematically, we're looking at stats and seeing, if we're going to play zone, is this team, how good is this team shooting from the 3-point line? So if they're usually at 30% and under, we may go zone, or we may just come out and play you man. So we just prepare both ways to make sure that our kids are ready for whatever they put on the floor offensively against us.
Talk to me a little bit about the importance of this week. It's Western tomorrow night, Page on Friday night. Lots of emotions with senior night that we'll talk about in a moment. But right now, you're part of a 3-way tie atop the Metro 4A. And really, the only way to control your own destiny is to get through this week cleanly. And then you face those other 2 teams in the final week, which is insane. And that's exactly what you want to sign up for. But you got to take care of business and not look too far ahead.
No, we're not looking too far ahead at all. I mean, what we're trying to do is just focus on one game at a time. So Western Guilford is biggest game we're going to play all year right now. So we've got to make sure that we come out focused and know the importance of it. Like I said last week, every game that we go into, we're telling our kids, hey, we're playing for a conference championship. We're playing for first place. So we don't have time to not come out and do the things that are necessary in order for us to keep our focus and try to win this conference championship. So we're focused on this one game right now. And then whoever we play on Friday, we'll be ready for them as well. But, we got to give Western all of our attention right now. And they pushed us in the first game that they played against us. I think we were up by 18 or so against them. And then they were able to come back, cut it down to maybe 9 or 10. But, they've got a great coach. Coach Rennie is going to make sure that he has his kids ready to play. So we've got to make sure that we not just match their intensity, but surpass it. So we'll see how we do tomorrow night.
You had lots of great things to say about the Hornets the first time. You mentioned that run where they kind of brought themselves back into it. What mistakes do you need to eliminate tomorrow night to not let a possible similar run come about?
Oh, we've just got to make sure we have better shot selection and keep our focus on defense. I think one of the things that hurt us when they were able to come back in that third quarter, we were a little bit too impatient on offense, and then defensively not closing out on their shooters as quickly as possible, and didn't secure every rebound. Sometimes we get in the habit of leaking out, and we don't need to leak out. We can't go anywhere till we get the basketball, and that's something that we talk to our guys as well. You can't score till you get the ball. So if we can avoid those things, we can rebound the basketball, close out on their shooters, and make sure that we just kind of run our offense and be patient with it and try to find the weaknesses in their defense, then I think we'll be okay.
It's also senior night this week. I mean, it's always a special moment. You got 2 seniors in Jack and Ryan that we'll get to talk to here in a moment. But talk to me about the emotions of senior night and what these 2 have brought to the program.
Well, I think that senior night is always special. It doesn't matter how old you get. You're always going to remember your senior night game, and you're going to remember if you win or lose. And we don't want our seniors to go out with a loss tomorrow. Jack Roach is a huge part of our program. He is the voice. I always hear Jack when I'm in the huddle or on the sidelines or in practice. He's always telling people what to do, where to go. So he's always in tune with the game. So I'm looking forward to, having his senior night and honoring him and hoping he can go out the right way. With Ryan Debo, Ryan's the type of guy where we wish we had him all 4 years. He's done a great job for us this year. He's taken a starting role in the time that he's been out here. But, Ryan's a special kid. I talked to him a little bit earlier today about his commitment to Fayetteville State in football and congratulating him on that. He's just an excellent young man. He's in my class as well as an AB student in there. So, and Jack is in my class as well. Both of those guys are student athletes, or they're model examples of student athletes, because I see them in the classroom and the hard work that they put in. And they also exhibit those same things on the floor with the hard work they put in on the court. So, I couldn't ask for two better senior leaders than the two guys that I have who we're going to honor tomorrow night.
Coach, is there a reason why senior night's tomorrow night instead of Friday's home game against Page, or is it just that was a business decision?
Well, when we're looking at it, Page is going to be Page. So we wanted these guys to have their own night where we could recognize them and know that this is their night and it's not a Page night. So this is the night that we want to send our seniors out the right way, and then we'll worry about Page on Friday. But for tomorrow night, this is what we want. We want these guys to go out the right way.
And then it wouldn't be right without asking if there's a big game on Sunday. I think you're probably going to tune into the Super Bowl. Do you have a Super Bowl prediction between the Eagles and the Chiefs?
I have been a Philadelphia Eagles fan for my entire life.
Really?
So
okay.
I am fly, Eagles fly all the way. Now, Patrick Mahomes is great. I love him. He's a good guy. I'm kind of torn because I'm from Missouri. And so I used to cheer for the Chiefs a little bit, but I've been an Eagle fan since they had Ron Jaworski and Randall Cunningham back in the 90s. So I want to see my team win tomorrow or on Sunday, but fly Eagles fly. We're going all the way.
Hey, you want to see your team win tomorrow night on senior night as well, and then Friday again against Page. Coach, I appreciate the time. We got some seniors to talk to as well. As we'll welcome in Ryan Debo and Jack Roach as well here on This Is Whirlie Nation. Coach mentioned it. Ryan committing to Fayetteville State. We'll talk to him about that. But I also want to bring up a couple other guys from the football program. Mitchell Summers recently connecting to Sacred Heart University. TJ Bunch with Winston-Salem State. As we welcome you guys in, thank you so much to come to stand on here with us, Ryan and Jack. Let's start off with you, Ryan, here. Just talk to me about senior night. It's finally coming up. What are the emotions you're feeling? It's just about 24 hours from now. You'll be in the middle of a senior night game.
It's pretty awesome. I had a senior night for football. That was great. We won. So just looking to get the dub tomorrow night.
And Jack, how about you? What are the emotions you feel coming into what is going to be your last week of playing at home for Grimsley basketball?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a special night tomorrow. I'm glad to share it with my brothers, and like Ryan said, I'm looking to go out with a win.
It'll be a good one against Western. Western 6-4 in conference play. They had been atop the standings for a lot of the year. You guys both got to play in that first game. This is right after the football team kind of came back. Starting with you, Jack, what do you expect from the Hornets? How do you guys prepare for them tomorrow night?
I think if we stick to our game plan and run what we run, I think we'll be okay. Like Coach said, they had a little run on us last time in the second half, but I think we've matured as a team and we'll be ready.
And Coach gave you some big props talking about how you're always a leader in the huddle, always speaking up. Is there a future in coaching? Is that something you're interested in at all?
Coach Corbett actually asked me about that last week, so I'm definitely going to be exploring my options.
Is it something you had ever thought about before he brought it up?
I have, yeah. My grandpa coached in college and my dad coached in college, so it's been in the family.
And then Ryan, as Coach brought up, you recently committed to play at Fayetteville State for football. First of all, congratulations. How does it feel to finally have that decision kind of decided, and now you can enjoy the rest of your senior year?
It feels really good. Definitely a big stress reliever, for sure.
What stood out about Fayetteville State?
Honestly, when I first went there, I was kind of skeptical about it. I didn't really know if I was going to be a fit in there. But I went up there. I liked the program. I liked the coaches. And I just liked the facility, and I just loved it.
And so you're a little bit of a unique case here, transferring over from Northwest this past year. You got to play them on the football field, had a pretty great game against them there. You also got to play pretty well on the basketball court against them. What has it been like playing against some of your brothers from Northwest and the Vikings over the last couple of months of being a part of this Grimsley Whirlies program?
It feels great. Just getting to play against my friends, just getting to laugh and joke about it after the game. It's just awesome.
And did I notice some trash talk between you and some of the guys on Northwest on the court a couple nights ago?
You probably did.
All fun and games, though, of course, right?
Yeah, just jokes.
And so, how often do you get to keep up with those guys? I mean, are you guys still communicating all the time with them? I mean, they've got some super successful athletes over there going to play at the same level as you are.
Yes, sir. I still try and keep in touch with them. Like, I'll still hang out with them over the weekends or something like that.
And then, Jack, you have a much different experience. You've been with this Whirlies program. How much has not just Ryan, but also you got Patrick, who came over from Ragsdale. How much have they really helped this program, and how quickly have they built into this program that you've seen?
Yeah, I think they've been tremendous from the start. Even if they didn't know the plays at first, they always came with great energy and effort, and I think they fit in very well with us.
Tell me a little bit about Ryan when he's not on the basketball court. What's he like off court?
He's pretty chill. He's a quiet guy, but he's funny when you get to know him.
And then Ryan, tell me about Jack. What's he like when he's not on the court?
He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. Yeah, he's funny too. He's a great person to, get to meet, stuff like that.
What is the pregame like? How do you get prepared for a game? I'll ask both of you this, and we'll start with you, Ryan, here. Just what is the mentality to get into game time mode?
The mentality is just do whatever is needed of me to help my team get the win.
Is there a favorite? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was done. You can go ahead.
Okay. I got you. I was just going to ask, is there a favorite song? Is there something superstitious you do each game or before each game to get you in the mode?
I don't think there is. I don't have one.
Not yet, at least. You still got a lot of football ahead of you, at least. And Jack, how about you? What goes into getting ready for game day each and every day?
Yeah, I think just locking in, especially when coach comes in during the fourth quarter of that girls game and gives us the game plan, just sticking to that.
Do you have a specific tradition or something, a favorite song you have to listen to before each game or anything like that?
I always do the same set of shots and layup lines. So I'll go layup and then jump shot, and then jump shot, layup.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that for?
That's been the past 2 years now.
Past 2 years? Okay. Favorite memory throughout Grimsley basketball for you? Both of you.
Yeah, you go.
It's got to be last year at Northern winning the conference championship. Going out on the floor and getting a big chest bump with Richard. There's a great picture of that in here, actually, and just celebrating that. That's got to be mine.
And Ryan, I know you haven't quite had the same experience yet, only playing a handful of games with how long football took. So whether it's a favorite basketball memory, I mean, I got to imagine the favorite Grimsley memory might be getting that ring on the finger you got back in December. But what's been your favorite memory so far with the Hoops team as well?
For basketball, I'll probably say playing Northwest. It was just beating them.
I mean, it doesn't get better than that. It doesn't. And then finally, to wrap things up, I want to ask both of you, of course, your Super Bowl predictions as well. Eagles and Chiefs. Well, some people are excited, some people aren't, but it should be a good one. Ryan, who do you have winning?
Coach might hate me for this, but I got the Chiefs winning.
Are you a Chiefs fan or just a realist?
I'm a Steelers fan, but
brutal. But I mean, the Chiefs, they're about as good as it gets right now. How about you, Jack?
I'm also a Steelers fan, but I think I got to go with the Eagles. The Chiefs have won back-to-back years, and I think Saquon's a little too good.
That's a guy trying to get some extra playing time tomorrow night, letting Coach know he's on his side. Guys, I appreciate your time, Coach Corbett. We always appreciate it. And 2 games this week at home, both on Tobacco Road Sports Radio again tomorrow night, starting with the girls' game at 6 o'clock for both of them against Western Guilford, and then Friday, the big rivalry game against Page. Thank you always for tuning in. Jack and Ryan, thanks for coming on. This has been Whirlie Nation, a Tobacco Road Sports Radio presentation.